Next on Worcester News Tonight, police are investigating after a pair of dating app meetups leaves one man in the hospital and another without a phone. And a West Boylston man faces serious charges in a fatal hit-and-run accident. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. We begin tonight in the city where police are investigating a pair of robberies. Both victims showing up to an apartment after meeting a girl on a dating app only to be jumped by two men. Responding to a dating app lands a Worcester man in the hospital. Instead of meeting a woman at a Laurel Street apartment, police say he was jumped and stabbed by two men. They say a similar incident took place at the same apartment just days before.
One was robbed of his cell phone. The other one was attempted to have his cell phone robbed. He fought back and got stabbed.
Worcester police say they've dealt with incidents stemming from Craigslist, but not with dating apps.
This is the first time that we've seen recently, anyways, involving a date app. So this is something that we're looking into right now. We're not releasing that particular app for the sole purpose of we're trying to learn more about it.
The incidents are prompting police to take a closer look into some of the more popular dating apps being used.
We're looking into this app and other apps and just to see what's going on.
Police say when using dating apps to take precautions.
If you're going to meet somebody, meet in a public place first and get to know the person if it's a legitimate situation. You know, common sense and caution go a long way.
Friends say 56-year-old Jeffrey Call was friendly and selfless. They're now mourning his loss from a hit-and-run accident this weekend. And a 21-year-old is facing motor vehicle homicide charges. Our Patricia Nicholas was in court today and has the details.
21-year-old Vincent Green is arraigned in Worcester District Court Monday morning. He is facing charges stemming from a fatal hit-and-run over the weekend. The accident claimed the life of 56-year-old Frank Jeffrey Call.
The person that hit him just took off and, you know, left another person for dead, regardless of what he thought he might have hit. I don't know too many people that will hit things and not stop.
Family friend David Francis says Call didn't deserve to die like that. Today, a memorial is set up where the accident took place. Prosecutors say Call was walking in the breakdown lane on West Boylston Street when he was hit early Saturday morning. Tire marks from the accident are still on the pavement. Francis says Call was friendly and selfless.
He was always available to listen to you. He interacted really tremendously with children. He was a big child himself. He really, really was.
Friends say Call frequented various local establishments and worked as a security guard. His co-workers have been wearing black bands across their badges in honor of his memory. His friends say Call was an unsung hero.
He loved every one of us. He let us know he wasn't afraid to hug us. He'd always, like I said, he'd inspire us to do the right thing and love each other. And he had a lot of special relationships, and he needs to be honored.
Patricia Nicholas, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester police are investigating a second hit-and-run in the city. It happened Sunday evening on Southbridge Street. Police say two people were hit while trying to cross the street. They say the driver got out of the car after hitting the two people before driving off. Witnesses say the vehicle involved was a black Cadillac. Both victims are in stable condition. Well, despite a spike of gun violence in the summer months, Police Chief Gary Jem says gun violence was actually down in 2015 compared to the previous year. In a letter to city councilors, Jem says the city had 31 incidents of gun violence in 2015. Jem says more than half of those occurred during the summer months. In 2014, the city experienced 38 shootings, a record amount for Worcester. Jim says overall gun violence has been trending down since July of 2014, and his department will remain vigilant. A new recruiting class is scheduled to start this month and should help their overall efforts. The City of Worcester holds a rally to raise awareness about the horrors of human trafficking. Survivor spoke out about her experiences in the streets of Worcester. It was an emotional moment for those in attendance. The rally served to educate people about the sexual exploitation of women in the city. Leaders call it both a public health problem and a women's rights issue. The Massachusetts man charged with killing 2-year-old Bella Bond is being held without bail. Michael McCarthy was in court this morning. He's pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder. McCarthy's lawyer says he knows nothing about the girl's death. He claims the girl's mother, Rachel Bond, told McCarthy the girl had been taken away by the state. The mom is accused of helping McCarthy hide the girl's body. She has pleaded not guilty to being an accessory after the fact. The cleanup continues after this weekend's Motel fire in Southbridge. Investigators now say they know what caused the fire, which started outside the building, and say the fire department's quick response helped get everyone out safely. Our Andy Madison has a look at the investigation.
We were able to get everybody out. Everybody was accounted for very quickly, which is always our primary focus, is rescue first.
A day after a massive fire at this motel in Southbridge, crews continue surveying the damage and are now pinpointing the cause.
The building is probably 85+% damaged. It would be the two ends of the building that are still relatively in good shape. The fire started in the middle of the building.
The state fire marshal says a burning cigarette left in a planter sparked the fire. 3 people were rescued early Sunday morning, the flames destroying much of the building. And also 4 cars that were taken from the scene to a nearby service center.
We've got the vehicles, the owners are looking for them, so they're calling and finding out that they're here, and now we've got to deal with them and their insurance companies to make sure it's all taken care of.
Fire Chief David Zinther says the lodge had working smoke detectors. And while it was business as usual at other buildings of the historic Publick house, on Monday, crews conducted inspections.
I can verify myself, I did hear smoke detectors when I arrived, and also we did check our records. That building was inspected less than 30 days ago.
The Publick house is a staple in the Southbridge community. As the cleanup continues, many are thankful no one was seriously hurt.
The fire response to that scene was absolutely critical to keeping the death and injuries down.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
Police investigate a stabbing at a local hospital. Officers responded to the emergency room and spoke to the victim, who was identified as a 36-year-old male of Worcester. According to the victim, he was walking in the area of Main Street near Kilby Street this morning when a male suspect approached him. They began arguing, and that's when, according to the victim, he was stabbed twice. The victim's injuries are not life-threatening. Anyone with information is asked to call police. The Powerball jackpot is now $1.4 billion. That's a world record for any lottery jackpot game. And as the jackpot continues to increase, so does the excitement around it. Michael Rosenfield has more.
Mighty dreams and minuscule chances. 6 numbers away from lifestyles of the rich and famous.
I feel bad for everybody else because I got the winning ticket right here.
This is record-setting stuff, the world's largest jackpot ever, according to lottery officials.
It's so exciting. I cannot believe the jackpot. I had to come by, pick up a few, so I got 3 now. Hopefully they'll be lucky.
At Clarendon Wine Company in the Back Bay, a customer won $1 million in Saturday's drawing, just a Powerball number away from the big prize.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
What would you do with the money?
Help a lot of charities, including the animals.
Michael Rosenfield, Worcester News.